Huh. Well, here we are in rainy Southern California. Um, Having trouble with the internet connection this morning. Ah, whew. So here we are in beautiful downtown Crestline. Hi, inventive goldfish. Welcome in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's inland empire. We are inland compared to Los Angeles, which is kind of on the coast, south of um, Kern County and no, whatever. I don't remember all the various counties in our huge state. Anyway, it's rainy, 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 heavy rain, downpour, and of course, that means the internet is kind of sketchy because it's, 20th century technology in a 21st century world. Towers. Ah, I wonder what it costs to use Starlink. I probably can't afford it. Oh well. I'm running late partly because I was watching a YouTube video and partly because the internet keeps going in and out. Hi, Witta. Welcome in. Wow. Cold, rainy day. It's, yeah, apparently, hi, Ditch. Welcome in. Apparently, it's raining all over the place. Hi, Pio. It's raining in Poland, too. It was snowing. Well, actually, there is snow here, just not at my house. So, Florida is dry, huh? We have this thing called an atmospheric river. It just means that the storm looks like a big old river in the sky. I think inventive goldfish means it isn't raining, but it is humid. Of course, it's humid. You're in Florida. That kind of climate has its advantages and disadvantages. Um, oh boy. Well, it's usually very dry in the mountains. Our humidity rarely tops 10%. Rarely, which is why I like to use vaporizers, cold steam in the summer and hot steam in the winter to kind of normalize the climate inside the house. Well, anyway, the cats are driving me nuts, but they don't want to go out in this rain. So they're doing all their calisthenics and jogging and such and wrestling in the house. Anyway, I was watching various YouTube videos. Hi, Freeman. Welcome in. Um, oh, he found his Bible and his prayer book. Very good. Yes, cat aesthetic, Stitch. Oh, those cats. They're driving me crazy. Let's see if Tora can come on camera. Um, that way. There she is, right here. Say hi to your adoring fans. Yeah, she did a kitty kiss. She squinted. Oh, hiding your head in the dark, are you? I don't. Well, there might. Yeah, there's enough light on Smokey if I lean back. No, you can't have my crackers. My better cheddars are mine. Oh, Smokey threw the bully brat cat. Oh, oh, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, Ditch. Oh, Florida has killer bees. Well, they aren't the scourge that we feared in the 1980s. Yes, no one expects the Polish Inquisition. Yeah, Monty Python was so fun to watch. Ugh. Yeah, their humor is not for everybody. Ugh. And then there's Benny Hill, even harder to understand. But I, I enjoyed, I enjoy British shows, and I learn a lot. For example, football in Europe is what we call soccer because we have American football. And at the Super Bowl, leading up to the Super Bowl, the big football championship, uh, everyone I talked to was sure that the Chiefs would win, the Kansas City Chiefs, because the referees were going to rig the game. Surprise, surprise, the Eagles won. I don't know what town the Eagles are from. Somehow I think it might be Cincinnati, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll find out. As if I cared. I'm not into football. Eagles team city. Eagles football team city. Philadelphia. Oh, I was way off. Cincinnati's in what, Ohio? Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania. Oh dear. Yeah, Freeman, my mom used to say that the football players must be gay because of the way they pass the balls at the, what is it, a kickoff? No, not the kickoff. They're not kicking it. The quarterback stands behind the man who's going to pass the ball and he leans over and passes it between his legs and toward the quarterback. Yeah, well, who knows? Who cares? It's a guy thing. And there's lots of guy things I will never understand, but I tolerate them. Freeman's an expert now. Cleveland Browns, Philadelphia Eagles, and San Diego Cha-Chas? Oh, the tackling dummies of the NFL. Okay. Uh, San Diego Cha-Chas? I don't think that's what they call their team. But I don't know. I'm not really into football. I found a rare treat at the grocery store. Orange sticks. It's basically an orange jelly covered in chocolate, and it seems to be hard to find for most of the year, but it's near Valentine's Day. That's tomorrow, when you exchange gifts with your loved one and either cook a nice dinner or go out to a nice restaurant. And of course, the big deal is greeting cards and boxes of candy. Mm, mm. Oh, poor Ditch forgot to get a girlfriend for Valentine's Day. Well, some people take out their mothers or their sisters. That's right. The day after Valentine's, all those fancy boxes of chocolate go on sale at a discounted price. What's even better, though, than orange sticks is the raspberry sticks. Raspberry jelly covered in chocolate. Ah, well, actually, our local grocery store, which is not a corporate blob, they have two locations and they're both in San Bernardino County. They gave us a break on eggs. They managed to get a deal and they passed it on to us so we could buy a dozen eggs at like somewhere between $3 and $4, but the limit was two dozen. And if you bought a third one, it would be almost $8 for the third one. I know a couple of people who had backyard chickens that were not sick, and they got them vaccinated for bird flu, and the animal control still took their chickens and killed them. Backyard chickens are not the source of a huge epidemic among chickens. It's the ones they call free range that are packed into a warehouse where there's so many chickens they can hardly move that spread disease. Wow, is that right? More than 21 million egg laying hens, WITA says, have been depopulated this year so far, after 13.2 million were culled in December. That's horrible. Yeah, so they're asymptomatic carriers. If you have 2 chickens in your backyard, that's what we're allowed here. 2 hens, no roosters. They're not going to spread the disease because they don't come into contact with other chickens. But it's okay to pack, a couple thousand chickens into a big old warehouse so crowded they can't really get any exercise. And then, the ones for egg laying are confined to little cages so that it's easier to take their eggs than if they were walking around. That's where the epidemics happen. Yeah, many tests are faulty, medical tests. Oh, Freeman's favorite recipe restaurant had to close temporarily because they can't get a decent price on eggs. Yeah, well, free range on the label of the eggs doesn't mean anything, Freeman. They're lying. What you want is pasture raised. Pasture raised chickens get to run around outside. No, it's not a California law, Ditch. The um, grocery store was giving us a discount on eggs, but they wanted to make sure that one person did not come in and buy 20 cartons of eggs and deprive other shoppers of the discount. So they limited it to 2 so that everybody would have a chance to get the $3 a dozen eggs. Hi, Ren, Jason, that is. Oh, and the chickens are supposed to have access to the outside. So they put one little, like a cat door, on one side of the warehouse where the 1,000 chickens are. And theoretically, a chicken could go outside if it could get through the hundreds of other chickens that are in the way. Oh, only having 2 hens in your yard? And no roosters. Oh, the crowing might bother the neighbors. God. Well, if you have at least half an acre, you can have uh, a rooster and I think 3 hens, something like that. But I don't have half an acre. I have slightly less than a quarter acre, I think. Something like that. I, I do the math once in a while, but I keep forgetting what the result was. Okay. I never saw Rocky 2, Freeman. I did like the first Rocky movie. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Um, how many square feet in a fourth of an acre? 10,890. Now, my lot is basically 45 feet by 150, which comes to just under 7,000. So no, I don't even have a quarter acre. Oh, I don't get out much, and it's gotten so expensive to see a movie that it's ridiculous. But I suppose Rocky 2 is available online by now. Okay, Smoky Sue, what did you break this time? Meow. Get your guilty face on camera. Where the heck? Oh, of course you moved while I was trying to find you. Now she's in the dark. Ugh, cats. Ugh. 20 minutes in, and I haven't gotten to the meat of the matter. Many politicians and others are up in arms because Elon Musk might have access to your personal, private information. Uh, well, from my point of view, it's already in the hands of nameless, faceless bureaucrats who, I don't even know who they are, and they have my info. At least I know who Elon Musk is. And don't seem to be upset at all that the Air Force spent more than $35,000 for 6 coffee mugs. Now, granted, these mugs uh, have like internal heaters, they keep the coffee hot. Well, for at least 100 years, we have had a cheap, reliable container that keeps coffee hot, and it also keeps cold drinks cold for a fraction of the price of these 6 coffee mugs. We call it a thermos. And I happen to have a little gadget that, if I could find it, it sits on my desk and you put your coffee cup on it, and it's like a little hot plate. It keeps my coffee warm, but I can't find the darn thing. It cost me $10. It's probably cheaper now to get a new one. Ah. 6 coffee mugs, more than $35,000. Uh, can you say kickback? Uh, and apparently, the administration did manage to cancel millions of dollars that USAID sent to hotels in New York City. Oh, Ditch is jealous of my lighter. Well, these are the disposable ones. And when I buy a carton of cigarettes at the smoke shop, they give me the lighter for free. Oh, a cheap Zippo. Yeah. Zippos are good. The butane lighters used to be refillable, but apparently some dumb people caused, uh, well, they like overfilled them and they blew up. So, because there's idiots in this world, we can't have one that's refillable. USAID was nearly the only supplier of tuberculosis. You mean treatments, vaccines? When I look into things, it turns out that most of the good stuff is done by churches and other charities, not by government programs. Oh, yeah, Jason, they want to ban butane. It's a form of natural gas. It might add carbon to the atmosphere. Oh, the supplies are frozen? Wait a but um the people on the receiving end, especially in Black Africa, but also other places, are saying that the supplies never arrive. They wait and wait, and maybe one out of 1,000 of the crates actually arrives, and the rest never do. It's kind of like FEMA confiscating supplies that are brought in by charities and saying those are ours and never giving them to the victims of the hurricane. Yeah, that's true, inventive goldfish. Gas might add carbon to the atmosphere, but burning wood is renewable. Well, at least in California and Oregon, you have to put these crazy gadgets on the top of your chimney of your fireplace so that nothing escapes. And you have to either clean them or replace them regularly because they get full of smoke and ash and stuff. Now, everyone should have a spark arrestor so you don't set the world on fire with the sparks from your chimney, but these are scrubbers. Natural gas doesn't put out smoke and ash, just heat. Well, actually, U.S. aid and other agencies have received some waivers. Certain things they're allowed to do. And if it's true that they send tuberculosis supplies like vaccinations and treatments, they should have a waiver for that. Smoky Sue, stop it. You too, Tutu, stop it. They're attacking a bag of trash that I have not taken outside because of the rain and the critters who get into my trash. Okay. Well, tuberculosis is a nasty disease that has been pretty much wiped out in the United States, not by vaccination, but by sanitation and, oh, what's that other word? Washing your hands and stuff like that. I can't think of the word. It's a God, cleanliness. All right, let's see. Synonym. Cleanliness. It's on the tip of my brain. No, not getting the word I want. Hygiene. Evil thesaurus doesn't have it. Thank you, Ditch. I know the word, I really do, but it got stuck somewhere in the back of my brain and wouldn't come out. Sanitation and hygiene, that's also how we beat polio. Aphasia is like that. So is old age, Ditch. I'm 70. I just don't believe I'm 70 years old. How could that possibly be? Oh well. Ah, okay. Let's see. Oh, and no more equity, diversity, inclusion. Doesn't EDI sound like the name of a disease? Well, the main thing about sanitation is that we don't empty our toilets into the streets. We have sewers. So the rivers and streams and the gutters along the side of the road are not full of germs. Well, ED is not exactly a disease, it's a condition that you don't want to have, but only guys get it, so why should I care? Well, I guess a lot of women do care if their husbands or boyfriends have it. Oh well, that's ranging into territory where I don't want to go. Yeah, there's a little blue pill for that. But if you have high blood pressure, you don't want to take the chance. When did Americans become convinced that whatever's wrong with you, there's a pill that will fix it? Um, Department of Education. The same group of lunatics who picketed USAID then went and picketed the Department of Education. How are we going to educate our children without a Department of Education? Probably do a better job. When I was in school, public school, Mom was complaining that she had learned a lot more in school than her children were learning because education was declining. When my son was in school, I had the same complaint. I learned more in school than he did. Most of us who do learn are learning on our own. If you teach a child to read and to do simple arithmetic, most children will take off and learn on their own. Turn them loose in a library, a museum, a science laboratory with adult supervision, and they will learn and they will have fun doing it. The schools have made learning a chore. It should not be a chore. Children are born curious. They're always pestering their parents. Why? How? What's this? Who's that? Mostly the why question is what gets to parents. Probably because they don't know. Oh, Department of Energy, whose job is to make sure we don't have any energy. Yeah, living in a major city is not a good thing right now. I've been warning people on my YouTube channel for years. If you're in a big city like New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, Detroit, get out if you can. When the stuff hits the fan, that's the last place you want to be. Small towns are fine. Suburbs, rural areas, they're much safer. Heck, I don't even go to the grocery store down in San Bernardino anymore. The last few times I went, I simply did not feel safe in the parking lot. You know, you got to take your groceries out and put them in the car. Anyway, children are born curious, want to learn, but we make it a chore instead of a delight. Of course, they stop learning. Yeah, I know, Witta, you're kind of stuck. But at least if it's still true, you have a good landlord. And I'm talking about the inner city. There are parts of big cities that are still residential. Even Los Angeles has large areas that are just some apartments and some single family homes. That isn't bad. But in the heart of the city, that's where the rot is the worst. Ditches in Baltimore. Oh, home of the Orioles. I think they're baseball. I'm really kind of ignorant when it comes to sports. Of course, I know about the Dodgers, the Angels, and the San Diego Padres. Will you get off me? Smokey Sue, you're a pest. And that's pokey pauses. I think the old brownstones where they actually share a wall with the house next door are gorgeous, but I don't think I could live in one. Smoky Sue, I know what she wants. She wants to chase the pretty red dot. Hi, Tutu. Do you like the pretty red dot too? This is sort of a cat steering wheel. You can make her spin around in circles. Yes. Oh, they're pretty kitties. Yeah. All right. That's enough. My hand is tired. Oh, poor Ditch has musicians for neighbors, and he's in one of those brownstones. No, she doesn't want to love me. She's a bully bitch. Uh, bully brat. No, I'm done. My hand is tired. Go away. Where's your mousey? Go kill your catnip mouse. What did you do with it, huh? Smoky Sue has pulled every single cat toy out of the cat toy box. And when Tora used to do that, at least I could find them and put them back. Oh, Jason says 3 days of darkness coming to Phoenix. Uh, well, Phoenix isn't near as bad as some coastal cities that cram people like sardines into tiny little spaces. I think that's a major source of criminal activity and gangs is having your living spaces so crowded that you can't get away from people. You can't have solitude. I guess you don't have loneliness, although I think it's possible to be lonely in the middle of a crowd, but you don't have time for yourself for quiet reflection. Sugar honey iced tea. I forget which YouTuber I heard that from that I'd never heard before. Um, no, it wasn't Black Conservative Perspective. Maybe it was Reckless with two Z's on the end instead of S. Reckless is a good YouTuber. They do reactions to other people's videos, and they do give a lot of their own thoughts. And then there's something family. I forget the initials. Oh, Ditch got it from me. I got it from one of the YouTubers. Might have been that cooking show, Smoking and Grillin' Wit AB. Wit is WIT, and AB, I guess, is his initials. He's got all the equipment, the tripods, the lights, the cameras, and people to run the cameras. Sugar Shack. That's an old song, Freeman. I think it's 70s. If only the powers that be had known what a sugar shack is, that song would have been banned. Of course, what's his face? Oh gosh. The British invasion. I'm totally lost. Anyway, brown sugar was also well, Sugar Shack is also a house of ill repute in the red light district. Rolling Stones did Brown Sugar, I think. Mick Jagger. Yes, Freeman. Gosh. This jacket's gonna go in the trash soon. It isn't even good enough to donate to the homeless. It's falling apart. But it's okay for sitting here in the house where nobody sees it but me. Mm. Smoky Sue, quit pestering me. I'm tired, and my hand is tired. Guess I could use my left hand on the pretty red dot. I don't like the way she gets in my face. Yeah, they're pretty kitties. Oh, Tutu's going at it. I put the dot on the side of the refrigerator and then jump up trying to catch it. Okay, that's enough, kitties. I'm tired. Let's see if I can get a picture. I was going to get a picture of Tutu, but she left. Anyway, it's rainy and wet and cold. It's something like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So no snow here, just rain. Let's see, 40 F 2 C. No, not 4. 40. Evil typo. I hit the O instead of the 0. 4.5 degrees C. Three days of darkness, yeah, coming everywhere, huh, Jason? That's from the book of Revelation. And there is no S on the end of the title of the book of Revelation. It's one revelation. Yeah, well, it's 6C where ditch is. That's a little warmer. Still not super comfortable. Okay. So apparently, a bunch of politicians, both Dems and reps, are upset that the gravy train will come to an end as waste, fraud, and abuse are cut. I wonder why they quit using the word corruption. Oh, Ditch is fine with it. He just wears a tracksuit. Okay. When he goes out. Mm, darn cigarette doesn't stay lit. Yeah, beat her up, 3C. She deserves it. 3C is Tutu's sister. I thought they were twins, but well, their coat colors are quite similar. But Tutu is twice the size of 3C. Yeah, if TV rots your brains, I believe that I learned more watching television than I did in school. I did like to watch um, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, but I also watched things like Get Smart, The Prisoner, oh, Laugh In, oh, Hollywood Squares. I wasn't terribly picky. I did for a while just binge on Dark Shadows and Star Trek. Yeah, I noticed. It's true what they say. The ads are more engaging than the shows. My little sister would be glued to the TV. She'd sit there watching intently during the commercials and not as much during the TV shows. Well, I discovered, well, my brother discovered Dark Shadows when Barnabas the vampire was a brand new character. And I just really admire the lady who played Angelique. Yeah, laughing will definitely rot your brains. You bet your sweet Bippy. They got they persuaded Richard Nixon to come on Laugh In, and his staff went through all the various things he might say on the air, and they finally settled on one brief phrase, which was in my brain a minute ago. Oh yeah, sock it to me. That's how he said it. The uh, the people on the show regularly would say, "Sock it to me." Oh, the internet ads are so sucky. I've discovered that on YouTube you can block ads, but you'll still see the same ad because it's from a different email or something. But there's a little window where you can report an ad and tell them why you don't want to see it. I don't know if anyone bothers to read it, but the latest one was an ad for men's slacks that are like durable. They look good, but they're work pants. And the guy takes out a knife and starts stabbing himself with it on the pants. And I posted the comment, I do not want to see a man stabbing his private parts. Even if it is safe in those pants. Are you kidding me? It's almost as bad as the one where the woman rubs her privates and smells her hand because Lumi does such a good job of controlling odors. Oh, lady, if you have odors down there, you need to take a sit down bath. No more showers. There's a Holy Heartbeats YouTube channel. I I don't mind if you want to see these filthy, disgusting ads. Go right ahead, but quit showing them to me. They're disgusting. And if I see one more ad for snake oil, where they show an image, they show a video of a apparently respected scientist giving a speech, but you can tell if you watch the mouth that the voice you're hearing is not that person talking. They're not just out of sync, they're different people. And they're selling snake oil. I thought disinformation was bad. Just take this poisonous concoction, it'll cure everything. Yeah, you can't get sick when you're dead. And I don't want to see weight loss ads. I need to gain weight. I might break down and haul out the bathroom scale. I haven't seen it in 2 or 3 years. Just mix vinegar and I don't know what else, and you'll lose 10 pounds in 1 week. Uh, no. You'll just end up dead because that stuff is poison. I forget what all they put in it. Or, let's see. I do like the ones where you can quit paying $10 at Starbucks and get this syrup that you can put into your coffee at home. Oh, yeah, I love Ubik commercials, Witta. They're awesome. Uh, the editor almost cut out all those commercials in the novel Ubik. Ubik as in ubiquitous. Everywhere. Which always reminds me of that cartoon skunk who would say, savoir faire is everywhere. Because he was French. Yeah. Well, Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, it wasn't the skunk who said it. I've got two characters confused. It wasn't Pepe Le Pew, it was some other cartoon character. Let me see. Uh, Savoir Fair is every where cartoon character Klondike Cat? Oh, that's the French Canadian mouse from the cartoon Klondike Cat, spelled with K-A-T. He is known for his catchphrase, savoir faire is everywhere. The image is kind of small, but maybe you can see it. Let me see. Let me see if I can make it big. No, I don't want a pin page. That isn't what I was after. Open image in new tab. That's a little bigger. Let me see. You can kind of see it. Klondike Cat and Savoir Faire. I don't know who the dog is. Oh, Klondike Cat, Savoir Faire, and a dog. Charlie the tuna was found dead today of mercury poisoning. Sorry, Charlie. Ah, Pio's drawing cartoons. Good for you. That's awesome. Ah, okay, we're over an hour now. This goes in the pocket, not on the desk. I'll bet I have at least half a dozen lighters under the furniture somewhere because they are cat toys, apparently. Ah, Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, Pio. Yeah, those are good cartoons. Okay, hang on. Drunk too much coffee, but I'll be back in a minute. Oh, take the opportunity to eat a steady. Be right back. Oh, don't do that. Oh. Lord, won't you buy me a good kitty cat? My cats are all bad, and they're big and they're fat. So, Lord, won't you buy me a good kitty cat? Hi, Smoky Sue. You're a brat. I'm back. Lita says she loved a cartoon about a kid named Charlie who drew things into reality. Sounds familiar. Remember Tom something? You could buy this plastic sheet of plastic to put on the TV screen so you could draw the last line of a cartoon image without damaging the TV. Oh, Simon. Simon the Wizard. Why would I want to mute the mic, Freeman? Oh, and then there was, I think it was Tom Swift who wore a funnel for a hat. Can't remember everything. And I wasn't really into that one. Well, I don't remember Pinky D, Freeman, but okay. It was the first interactive television. I wonder how many kids just took a crayon and drew on a TV screen, making their parents very upset. Well, they should have bought the kid a sheet of plastic. Ugh. Oh, Ditch ruined a TV with a magnet. Yeah, that might do it. They're different now, but I wouldn't put magnets near my computer. Mom was so cheap, we had an old black and white TV that someone gave us because they bought a new one. And if it broke down, when it broke down, she made my brother learn how to repair it because she wasn't going to waste money on a new TV, as not even because the new ones were in color. I saw most of Star Trek in black and white. Then finally, someone gave us their old color TV. The colors weren't terribly bright, they were faded, which was why they bought a new one. But at least I got to see what color the Star Trek uniforms were and finally came to understand what it meant that the guy in the red shirt was doomed. Oh, yeah, we had an ice box. Once a week, the Iceman would bring a new block of ice for the ice box until Granny gave us her old Frigidaire. That electric refrigerator lasted us for, let's see, from about 1960 to 1970. And it still worked, but when we moved into a different house, sold My parents sold the house and bought another one, a bigger one, because there were so many of us. The new house came with a brand new refrigerator. What was on the agenda for today? Yes, Ditch, the Iceman cometh. The agenda was Doge, but I didn't really get into it very much. Okay, what was Radiation King? I missed something. Oh, Freeman had a Zenith Radiation King. That should be a television, right? The TV that Phil and I had was an old Zenith. We bought it from a used furniture store, I think. Something like that. Oh, poor Witta. Also had to watch Star Trek in black and white. Zenith made a good product. Oh well. Ah, so let's see. What else is Doge doing? Oh, they want to audit the military, and now even more politicians are up in arms. See ya, Ditch. Have a great day, and thanks for coming in. You know, they have these things called matches. I gotta get going, but let's see. What else are they auditing? Probably all kinds of stuff. And oh my, he hired a 20-year-old. How could a 20-year-old know anything? Well, from what I've seen of the people in our Congress, most 20-year-olds know more than they do. When I was 20 years old, the only job I could get was running the cash register at Pup and Taco until they went bankrupt and Taco Bell, it was either Taco Bell or Del Taco bought them out. Well, they don't outweigh Congress, Witta. The president is in charge of all the executive agencies. And by the way, Trump did not invent Doge. He simply changed the name of Obama's government efficiency agency. It already existed. Obama created it out of nothing. So, all these executive agencies of the executive branch, with their thousands of bureaucrats sitting at desks in cubicles, making rules for real people to live by, are under the authority of the president. He can create agencies, he can uncreate them, abolish them, get rid of them. They're his. Now, Congress did, let's see, how'd it go? U.S. aid was invented by President Kennedy in the early 1960s. Congress passed a bill to confirm it, but they did not create it. The president created USAID. Oswald, hello there. Welcome in. Well, I don't smoke outside in the rain because the rain puts out the cigarette. Yeah. Kennedy created several agencies, and one of them was USAID. And by Congress confirming it with a bill, it doesn't change the fact that it's under the authority and direction of the president. Now, checks and balances. Well, if Congress created an agency, it would not be an executive agency, it would be a legislative agency. Now, well, Kennedy's dad was a scumbag. But if you watch John Kennedy's speeches, they're all over YouTube and other parts of the internet. He sounds like a Republican today. He wanted to get rid of the CIA, which, by the way, is an executive agency under the authority and control of the president. Yeah, well, Nixon wasn't that bad. They paint him as the devil incarnate, but he was rather foolish and I think he had bad advice, and he wasn't smart enough to, refuse to take bad advice. But he was Watergated. He had nothing to do with breaking into the Democrat headquarters. He learned about it afterward, and his mistake was trying to cover it up. The best way to cover your tail is not to hide information, it's to shine a light on it. But the real reason he was impeached was because on all those tapes, the recorded discussions in the White House were just full of so many bad words. They were cussing like crazy. In particular, calling certain people something much worse than scumbag. I can't really defend Nixon. He did some bad things. But Watergate was he was stupid enough to try to cover it up instead of shining a light on it. Well, frankly, the lockdowns were not a Trump thing. That was Biden. Trump asked us to just, ooh, it's windy. 2 weeks to stop the spread. And he did not make it a mandate. It was certain states like California who mandated locking down. And then Biden made it a national thing. All kinds of people either lost their jobs or had to take an experimental medical treatment. Phil would be horrified that his predictions have come true in so many ways. No, they're not in charge of spending, they're in charge of auditing. And Doge does not suspend the funds or the activities. They report to the president, and he decides what he's going to do with these agencies. Is he going to cut off their funds? Is he going to stop them from spending? Is he going to fire 1,000 useless workers who do nothing but eat up tax money while working from home to run your life and mine instead of letting us make our own decisions? I still don't like Trump. There are things he says and does that concern me. But he is the president. He was elected by a majority of the people, as well as the, oh crap, the, what the hell was it called? Sorry, now I'm cussing. Um, where each state sends delegates and they all vote. It's not important. He was elected by a majority. Electoral College, thank you, inventive goldfish. Why do they call it a college? Well, you need to look into the history of the word college. I don't feel up to it right now. Yeah, well, state of emergency, a horrible, horrible pandemic. I do like the idea of letting military people back in without the jab. What about all the people who couldn't see their loved ones in the hospital? That's a bridge too far. The person is dying. And hospitals have all kinds of technology to kill germs in the air as well as on surfaces. And everybody was masked up, but they couldn't see their loved ones. Of course, me, I wouldn't mind. When I broke my hip in 2020, nobody could visit me, and I didn't mind. But I'm weird. I didn't want to have to entertain visitors. Ah. And I wasn't dying. Yes, Kathy Hochul I studied German, but I can't always do that CH the way Germans do it. Anyway, um, they didn't have the jab yet. That became available in 2021. I got a Pfizer shot, but I had a severe adverse reaction, so my doctor told me not to take another one. As if I would after that experience, being down for 10 days. And I don't think all of the side effects have gone away, but the most troubling ones have. So, anyway, that's what I get for giving in to peer pressure and taking the jab. Yeah, I don't remember the name, but there was a tennis player who was not admitted to Australia because he didn't have the jab. And he still says, I made the right decision. Oh, another thing Trump is doing, uh, Trump and Doge, the VA, the Veterans Administration. Come on, brain. My brain just lost the second thought that follows that. Oh, California. Yeah, we'll give you disaster funds when you start providing water to people instead of shoving it out into the Pacific Ocean. We'll give you federal aid when you quit trying to force people into electric cars and ban gas appliances. That's heavy-handed. But on the other hand, I have to have gas appliances. For one thing, we often have prolonged power outages. They call them planned power outages because it's windy. And apparently, the wind might take down a power pole and cause a fire. The last time Edison shut off the power for 2 or 3 days, even longer in some places, because they had trouble turning it back on, it was raining. I've never heard of a down power line starting a fire in the rain. Now, it might make a dangerous place for people to walk by or drive by, but if you can probably see the down power pole and stay away from it. Besides, with all the safety stuff they've been putting in, a down power line is, or at least should be, automatically shut off. the electricity taken out of it. And I find it highly suspicious that all the water that's going from our reservoirs into the Pacific Ocean runs right through wine country, where Governor Newsom has a huge winery with lots of grapes growing. Grapes require a lot of water. I love California wine, but come on. You see, it's better than anything you can import because the European countries do not export their best. And it's cheaper. Sorry. And a Christian Brothers brandy is almost as good as imported French. What do they call their brandy? They've got a fancy name for it. Ah, gosh, I know that word. It ain't coming to my brain from my brain to my mouth. Cognac. Cognac comes from a specific place in France. Oh, why do I always hit the wrong key right there? Here we go. Cognac. Come on, mouse, don't stick. My mouse is sticking. It probably wants a new battery. I'm just checking the spelling. Yeah, it is GN. French does not make sense, and it doesn't have to. It's French. Anyway, Lord, it really is time to get the day started. Oh, and with the city of Los Angeles saying, well, we have to keep the people safe. No, you can't go see what's left of your house. No, you can't clean it up yourself. We have rules and regulations. So Trump sent in the Army Corps of Engineers and they're doing the cleanup. Problem solved. It isn't like he isn't helping people. He's just not helping the state government. Huh. I never heard of that either, Witta, that the Resnick seized control of California's public water supply. I do know that we are not allowed to save rainwater. We can't just put out a bucket or a barrel and collect the rainwater. That belongs to the government. Really. And we can't take water from natural streams, creeks, and rivers. That belongs to the government. It's the waters of the United States. And there have been tales of farmers who just, you know, dug out a low spot and let the rain fill it up with water. And the government decided that they own it. The government owns that. Some have been forced to fill it in and not collect water. For migratory birds like ducks and geese, the wild ones. Um, it's ridiculous when the not too long ago the rain was flooding areas of rich farmland that were starving for water, by the way. The government said you cannot divert the floodwaters to water your fields. You have to leave it alone. But some farmers kind of didn't get the message and they diverted the floodwaters, potentially saving people downstream from the flood, plus providing water for their parched land where they needed it to grow crops. Florida encourages people to save rainwater. That's a good thing. I know it was cold the other night, 2 nights ago. I had a bowl sitting out that I usually put cat food in for the stray cats. It had filled with rainwater the day before, but the day after it filled with rainwater, it was filled with ice. Okay. Wow, this has been a long one again. But the chat is so fascinating, I don't want to close it. Oh, that's also how Trump got some water from down from Northern California into Southern California and to the farms along the way in the big Central Valley, San Joaquin Valley. Joaquin is pronounced Joaquin. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Doesn't look like Spanish to me, it must be French. Could be Spanish. I don't know. If it were Spanish, the J, Jota, would be pronounced like H and it would be Joaquin. Maybe it's Spanish. Anyway, the Army Corps of Engineers came in and just basically turned the valve, although it's much more complicated than that, and got water flowing into and I still can't remember the name of it. There's this canal that goes from Northern California down all the way to San Bernardino and beyond. And its main purpose is to provide water to the farms in the Central Valley. It has been dry for decades. Now water is flowing. About time. Okay, guys, I have some hope for the future. You see, we needed a little chaos to shake up the complacent bureaucrats, mostly in District of Columbia, D.C., but also in state government and county government and city government. have an ouchie on my finger. I don't recall doing it. It must have been either a cat or I don't know. Anyways, just a little scratch. Putting on my baby lotion. It's the only lotion that, well, one of two lotions that I can tolerate. The major brands made for women. Actually, all adults should use it. Men shouldn't do that macho thing and, oh, I don't need a moisturizer. Yes, you do. Your skin feels like sandpaper. Ick. Anyway, the ones made for adults tend to be gritty and to stink. Don't like their perfumes. Plus, they have alcohol in them that kind of defeats the purpose of a moisturizer. So there's baby lotion and a brand called Utterly Smooth. They've changed their formula. It used to have actual lanolin from sheep, from the sheep's wool. When they make a wool fabric, they have to press out all that oily lanolin. Now, what you can do actually is just use olive oil, but I don't like it, at least not all over me. I do sometimes put it on my face. Oh, Oswald says that invented fish is in Plato's fish bowl. That's like Plato's cave. I think we're in Plato's cave. We're seeing the reflections. We're seeing digital and AI images and not the real thing. That's an ouchie. How'd I do that? I think it was probably Smokey Sue. Yeah. Quit bothering me. Don't pester me. I fed you guys and everything. Did you eat all your canned food and kibble? Oh my gosh, they did eat it all. Criminy. No, you didn't eat all the kibble. Just the canned food. Get off of me. Well, don't get in my way and you won't get stepped on. That's a cat's talent. You're about to put your foot down, and if you don't put your foot down, you're going to fall. So the cat gets under your foot and then complains because you stepped on them. The media have created this ersatz world for us. Fake, phony, fantasy, and not our idea of fantasy. Cinderella doesn't marry the prince. She ends up living in poverty, scrubbing other people's laundry, and rarely getting enough to eat. That's us. We're the masses huddled in the darkness of the matrix. So a little chaos just might kind of, break up those false images and give us the reality to see. Yeah. And the few people who've managed to find success and have a good lifestyle and enough money and so forth are the exceptions. And I think it's kind of refreshing to find one like Elon Musk. Sure, he's got billions of dollars, but he gave free Starlink internet to the people of Maui after the hurricane. Not hurricane, fire. I think it was both. Anyway, he gave free Starlink service to North Carolina. You won't see that on the news. It doesn't fit their narrative. The people of Maui were offered $750, but most of the victims of that fire did not qualify for the measly one-time payment of $750. FEMA was too busy renting luxury hotels for people who crossed our border. And U.S. aid is just doing about the same thing. And I'm really shocked and horrified. Nancy Pelosi was saying, "Who will pick our fruit?" Well, here in California, Cesar Chavez in the 60s and 70s formed a union for farm workers who were mostly Hispanic. Some, oh God, cat hair, I think. Just a second. Ew. Some U.S. citizens and some braceros on a work visa. And he was Cesar Chavez was totally against illegal immigration because those people, being undocumented, had no power to negotiate for better pay and better working conditions. Americans will pick crops, but not for, you know, slave wages in terrible working conditions. My brother-in-law tried picking strawberries. I forget the exact year, but it was probably around 1980. And Reagan had cracked down on immigration to some extent, along with providing amnesty for a number of people who were already here. And there was a shortage of farm workers. So my brother-in-law tried picking strawberries. And he found that he could not earn enough money to buy lunch on his lunch break at work. Plus, because they just had everybody drink from a bucket with only one long-handled scoop for everybody to drink water, he got hepatitis. Just from having a drink of water while he was at work. And you know what? If the only way we can bring down the cost of fruit is to exploit slave labor, I think that paying more for groceries is the right thing to do. It is cat hair. I think I got it out this time. Shoo. I'm really ticked off at Oprah. She has a huge estate on Maui. Didn't open up any part of it for the victims of the fire. She has a huge organic garden. Didn't donate any food. She went out one time with the press taking video to hand out blankets that someone else donated. Okay, where's my spare napkin? At least The Rock apologized. Dwayne The Rock Johnson said, "Oh, I was wrong to ask ordinary people to donate. What was I thinking? I have millions." Oprah, who did not get paid to endorse Kamala. God, where's all this cat hair coming from? And why is it in my mouth? Anyway, yeah, her production company got paid. Well, no wonder. Oprah has a show. She has a set and a crew. But Kamala couldn't come to Oprah's set. Oprah had to travel and build a new set in a new location. And her whole crew had to travel, and the lights and cameras and stuff had to travel. So, however, I think the millions they got were more than enough to cover the cost. Who's Harry? Trump let Harry stay? Who's Harry? I don't know who that is, Freeman. Oh, Prince Harry. Yeah, and his wife, Meghan Markle, keeps losing contracts with various media outlets. She's lost movie deals. She's even lost commercials, appearances in commercials. And apparently people do not like her. But there's a new show that apparently will be on Netflix in March called With Love, Meghan. And it's supposedly her in her house cooking and cleaning. Do you honestly believe she does that stuff? I didn't know who she was when all these stories were coming out about Meghan Markle. And who the hell is that? That's how much attention I pay to celebrities. Actually, they're canceling contracts and not paying Meghan Markle. She was supposed to do some other show where she wasn't a major character, but she had a good amount of airtime. And they had a contract to pay her $2 million for her appearance. I forget the name of the show. She turned around and after it was all settled, she said, "No, I want $3 million." Probably because she lost some other contracts and couldn't maintain her lifestyle. Wish I had that kind of problem. I need an extra million to just pay my chauffeur and my cook and my valet. So they canceled her and replaced her with a young upcoming actress whose name I don't remember. And she's suing them. Markle is. And going to the press and telling them how abused she is because they're misogynists. They just hate women. Okay, we hate that woman. And people who work, whether they're actors or crew, are all saying they don't like her. I've come to the conclusion that the cat hair is in my coffee. I've barely heard of Harry. There was one story decades ago when Harry and I don't know the other guy's name. What's his brother's name? The two brothers, the Crown Prince and his brother Harry, were teenagers and they stopped to help a stranded motorist. There was a big story on the news about what good people the princes were to stop and help someone. William, thank you, Freeman. I can't believe Charles is King of England. His mother stayed on the throne till she died because she did not want her son to become king. She wanted to skip him and go to his son. Although there isn't a lot of political power in the royal family anymore. They're basically a rubber stamp for the parliament. Uh, by the way, I did get a little battery backup for my computer in case the power goes out, but it does not keep it running very long. It just keeps it running long enough so that the power outage doesn't turn off your computer and you have time to turn it off yourself. Um, I've got to figure out how to hook it up in a place and a way that Smoky Sue can't unplug the battery backup by stepping on the cord, the power cord. She did that to my surge protector several times. So I've moved it and plugged it in a safer place. I don't think it's practical to hook up the battery backup there. Maybe it is. Maybe I should do that. But no, it says to plug it directly into the wall, not to a surge protector. And that particular wall outlet is in a place that I can barely reach. Hi, Angus. We're winding down and getting back to real life. As well, it's sort of real. You know, breakfast, feed the cats again, that sort of thing. Well, welcome in anyway. I think we've suffered enough over the past, actually more than 4 years. As Trump was not doing such a great job in his first term, it's just that he wasn't senile. He wasn't pooping his pants and dropping ice cream on the floor. But he's been in office for 3 weeks. And what do you hear on the main media, the legacy media? Oh, grocery prices are still too high. They didn't notice it when Biden was in office. It was, well, big deal. Don't care. Excuse me. You think he can bring down prices in 3 weeks? He isn't a magician. Oh, poor Angus. His puppy eats all the paper in the house. Oh, golden retriever. Yeah, they are adorable. Well, yeah, get him chew toys. If nothing else, roll up some newspaper, tie it with cotton string, not rubber bands, are bad for dogs. Give him that to chew on. Yeah, but does he have a paper chew toy, Angus? Roll up a newspaper, tie it with cotton string, and make that his chew toy. Oh, yeah, teething. Oh, he wants paper. Give him paper. Oh, Tutu and Tora are cuddled up, and Tora's making funny noises. They're happy noises. Oh, it's your brother's therapy dog. Good. I haven't had a dog since 2014 when Bandit went to the Rainbow Bridge. Bandit was the best. And he's the only dog that was actually my dog and not the family dog. Sad. I can't get a dog now. Can't afford to take care of a dog properly. The cats, other than two, be, I mean, a year ago I had Tora and Sweetie, two cats. All the others moved in. I didn't ask for them, I didn't look for cats. They just moved in. But I can't add a dog to the mix right now. I suppose if I'm ever in a position to do it, I'll adopt a senior dog. Because if I get a puppy, it might outlive me and then need a home, and you don't know what's going to happen then. Okay, I got to get new coffee because that must be where the cat hair's coming from. And I got to have something for breakfast. Maybe I'll go old school and have bacon and eggs, or maybe I'll just have some shredded wheat. It's one of the least offensive breakfast cereals, and I do like it. So, good luck with the puppy dog, Angus. They do outgrow the teething stage. If you let them live through it. Oh, Freeman's going to have both. Okay. Anyway, I will catch you all guys later, all of you. And thank you so much for being here. You always make my day. See ya.